Hi guys, welcome to Math with Mrs. Pullman. Remember me? Hopefully you haven't forgotten me. It's been a whole 2 days since we were together, but here we are, lesson 85. Let's get cracking. So, hopefully you followed your instructions on Seesaw and you did your problem solving for lesson 85. Let's see, that would be on page 543. And it was about Venn diagrams. Now, Venn diagrams are a part of math that we use, kind of a logic theory, behind logic theory, or using logic to figure things out. They're also known as Euler diagrams, which I think this is more of a Euler diagram, but I didn't write the book. So we're going to use Venn diagram. And what Venn diagrams teach us is how to relate certain sets. In math, the mathematical term for the data that we're using is a set. And how does this set of data relate to this set of data? You are familiar with the relation term because we've used it in Oklahoma history on your test. You have to say, how did the forts relate to frontier? And then you take those two terms and how do they relate to each other? That's exactly what we're going to do, except we're going to do it with math. So in this Venn diagram, it has two circles. And the black is out. So hey, Umbria, we're going to red. Here we go. We have two circles, all right? So one has an A in it, one has a B in it, and then you have C out here that's not in a circle. So what does that mean? Let's see. It's a circle on the left stands for fruits, and this circle on the right stands for vegetables. Okay, so our B stands for broccoli because it is a vegetable, so it's inside the circle. The A stands for apples, and it is a fruit. It is inside the fruit circle. It's not in the vegetable circle. And then we have cheese out here. The C stands for cheese. Hey, I have a question. Y'all ever heard of brie cheese? Brie cheese? Is that short for Brianna cheese? I don't know. Just a thought. Anyway, getting back to math. What they want us to do is you should have copied these on either your whiteboard, and if you guys want to do your problem solving on your whiteboard and then just don't erase it until you get to the math video, we're going to start, this is the way we're going to start doing it, is problem solving on the math video at the front. You can just take your whiteboard and either change your answers or, look to see what you've done, that you understand what you're doing. And if you don't, you're going to contact me. And if you do, you're just going to erase that board and you're through with it. You're not going to have to submit them again. Okay? So we'll kind of eliminate some of this paper shoving that we're doing. All right. So with our Venn diagram, we are trying to place eggs, oranges, and green beans. So we're going to have to determine what they are. Are they a fruit? Are they a vegetable? Or are they neither? Okay? So I'm going to use the green one for the ones that we're going to add. How about eggs? Is eggs a fruit? Lambo's looking at me like, what is she talking about? Eggs a fruit? I don't know what they are, but he loves to eat them. So, are they a vegetable? I don't think they're either one. So what you do when it's neither one, it's going to join the C. It's going to join the cheese. It's neither one, so it's not going to go in either circle. Okay, so let's take the next one. Oranges. Are oranges a fruit? I believe they are. So the O would go inside of the fruit circle. And what about, green beans? Are green beans a fruit? No. Are they a vegetable? Of course. So we'll put GB for green beans. So that is how you do a Venn diagram. It puts things into groups. Now I want to go a step further than your book did, because sometimes you have a Venn diagram, and we'll use red, that it may look like this, and that we call this the intersection of the diagram. So we could have things like this. We could have girls and boys. Okay, so we could list all the boys, list all of our girls. But they could have something in common. They could be the I-1 students, and we would have all of the girls listed, and we'd have all of the boys listed. This would be something that they have in common. We didn't get to this in our lesson today, but that I wanted you to at least have heard that, because you will as you continue in some of your future math classes. I want you to have heard it and kind of understand. You can have two separate things, but yet they could have something in common, like our classroom. Okay? All right. Moving right along, we're going to go into your lesson today. Your lesson is about something that we've already discussed, hanging outy with the zeros. So multiplying by 10, 100, and 1,000. And so when you have numbers that you multiply by 10, 100, or 1,000, it's actually, I really like to do it because it's so easy. You can do it right up here. You don't have to have a piece of paper and a pencil. So if you have a number, I'm going to show you how to do it real easy. So if we have the number 123, and we want to multiply that by 100. I've taught you the hanging outy method. You can multiply that and just hanging outy those zeros. Bring those straight down, and you get 3, 2, 1. Right? You're used to that. Here's the beautiful thing with multiplying by 10, 100, and 1,000. Here's the nifty thing. If I said, what is 1,000 times 23? You don't even have to do the multiplication. All I have to do is 1,000 times 23. I take the number that I'm multiplying by, 23, and then how many zeros are in 1,000? 3. I just tack them on the back of the number. 1, 2, 3. So 23 times 1,000 is 23,000. Isn't that cool? So if I had 45 times 100, 45, there are 2 zeros in 100. Tack it on the back. Simple. All right. So I know that you guys are all of that. I'm going to give you some practice middle math. So come on with me while we take this journey. I want you to think in your brain, 365 times 10. Why would you want to know that? Well, what if you wanted to know how many days are there in 10 years? You could take 365 days times 10. There's your answer. So you put 365. How many zeros are in 100? 2. No, we're not doing times 100. We're doing times 10. Let me confuse you even more. 365 times 10. So you take the 365, put that 0 on the back of it, and you come up with 3,650. Did that in your brain. You guys are pretty smart. Excuse me. Let me give you another one. 52 times 100. Now do it in your brain. 52 times 100. Just take 52, put 2 zeros on the end, because there's 2 zeros in 100, and you get 5,200. Did you get it? All right, here we go. Here's your next one. Excuse me. 7 times 1,000. Take the 7 times 1 is 7. Tack on 3 zeros. 7,000. How about 420 times 100? This is a little trickier. 420 times 100. So you have to take the 420 How many zeros are in 100? 2. So you're going to take 420, tack on 2 zeros. So you get 42,000. Because you have 420, so there's already 1 0 in there. Then 2 more. 42,000. That was a little harder to do in your brain, but you still did it, right? Okay, now I'm going to give you one that's even trickier. $3.60 times 10. How in the world do you get that? You know you're going to do $3.60 times 10. You're going to be tacking a 0 on the back of that. When you multiply money times 10, 100, and 1,000, it's a little trickier. So let me write it on the board. Okay, you've got $3.60 times 10. Now, on the hanging outing method, I wanted to also point out that some of you, you don't, sometimes if you have 0, I told you, on either number that you're multiplying, if they have a 0 in the end, you can just bring it down and take it out of the equation. On both the top and the bottom. Some of you do it, you always do it for the bottom, but some of you don't do it up here for the top. This one can come down, and this one comes down. So it eliminates those two. So all you're left with is 1 times 6 and 1 times 3. Now, $3.60 times 10, and I've got 3600. Remember, we're doing money. So you always have to, whatever your answer is, you go to the very end and you count over 2 spaces, and that's where your decimal is. So $3.60 times 10 is $36. Okay, so let's practice that. What would $3.60 times 100 equal? $3.60 times 100. Okay, you got it? Got it in your brain? Let's work it. This comes down, this comes down, this comes down. 1, 2, 3. 6 and 3. Go over 2, 1, 2. $360. Okay? All right, you guys practice that because that's a very good skill to have, to be able to multiply by 10, 100, and 1,000 in your brain. And remember, by 10, you tack on a 0. If it's 100, you tack on 2 zeros. If it's 1,000, you're going to tack on 3 zeros onto the end of whatever number is you're multiplying by. If it's money, it gets a little tricky because you have to put that decimal place in. Okay? All right, so your homework that I want you to do is lesson 85. Now, pay attention. Put your hands on your head, everybody. You haven't heard that in a long time, have you? Put your hands on your head so I can see you're listening. I'm waiting. Come on, Ariana. Do it. Just everybody in your house is going to think you're crazy. Okay. You can take your hands down now. Now I know you're listening. All right. Your homework is going to be done a little differently. Your lessons that I assign, I want you to do your homework. Like tonight, it's 85 odd. Or today is 85 odd. Do all the problems. But don't do anything with it. Just keep it. Keep it in your folder. And I'm gonna give you homework Monday through Thursday. You're gonna do all the homework. The next day, like today's Monday, so tomorrow morning, right before you do your math lesson, before you hook up to listen to the video, I'm gonna post in the announcements will be. Can you hear the dogs? They're chewing on their bones. I'm so sorry. They apologize. Hey, guys. Hey. Shh. Shh. It's not the bison bones, but they do have bones. Actually, I think they are bison bones. I got them at this specialty store. Anyway, I want you to check your own papers. In announcements, you're going to have the answers. So tomorrow morning, you're going to have the answers for what you just did today. Okay? So get out your red pen, check your answers. Okay? And we're going to do 4 lessons. On Friday, we're going to Zoom. And any of those problems that you don't understand, guess what? I'm going to work any problem that you want me to work and explain it for you. Okay? And that's how we're going to do it. I'm not going to have you turn in your homework anymore. Okay? But I do want you to do it so that if you have questions, you can ask me. Okay? And if nobody asks me questions, I don't know, maybe I have to give a quiz or something. Awful. Yuck, like that. Don't make me do that. So do your homework. Ask questions, okay? That's going to be our Friday. And you won't have any math homework on Friday. Just a Zoom with me, okay? Deal? Deal. Okay. On your homework tonight, I keep saying tonight, on today, I'm used to you guys doing your homework at night. So today, when you do your homework, take special caution with these particular problems. Number 3, it says, Dallas saw some pentagons. The pentagons had a total of 100 sides. How many pentagons did Dallas see? That's number 2. So let me read number 3. Some things just never change, guys. I will never change. It's why I'm me. Let's look at number 3. Mariah bought a rectangle piece of land that was 3 miles long and 2 miles wide. And if you don't, guys, if you don't get these problems, remember, do my little strategy. 3 miles, 2 miles. That's her land, okay? Mariah bought a rectangular piece of land. 50% of the land could be farmed. Now, so how much of this land, if I was going to draw how much could be farmed and how much couldn't be farmed, how big would it be? If it's 50%, remember? 50% means per 100. So 50 out of 100. How much of this land can she farm? What they want to know is how many square miles could be farmed? 50%. We need to know, first of all, what is 50%? Then whatever fraction that you think that turns out to be, I put the answer right here. Then what the problem wants to know is, then what is the square miles for that? Okay? All right. Hopefully that'll help you with that one. And if not, what are you going to do? Good job, Lauren. You were listening. Okay, Lauren, she just vibed it to me. You are going to mark it down if you don't understand it, and you're going to ask me about it on Friday in our Zoom meeting. Okay, here we go. Number 5, a full pitcher of orange juice contains about how much juice? And so your options here are 2 ounces, 2 liters, 2 gallons, 2 cups. The best thing I can do to help you with this one is just to picture how much that is. How much is 2 ounces? How much, 2 ounces, remember a cup. The queen wore a crown, but the prince and princess each wore a crown, and on the crown were 8 ounces. So the cup has 8 ounces. 2 ounces would be less than a cup. So would that be a full pitcher of orange juice? How about 2 liters? A 2-liter bottle of pop, you know how much that is. 2 gallons, your milk comes in a gallon like this. That a 2-gallon one would be this big. 2 cups, you know how much that is. Okay? Not that I think I just gave you the answer, but anyway. Hopefully you were listening. If not, you're going to have to figure it out. All right, number 7. It says 1/4 of the 48 gems were rubies. How many of the gems were rubies? Draw a picture to solve the problem. Remember, the way that you draw a picture is like this. I don't want a picture of rubies. I want you to show me how you've divided it, okay? And then you're going to show me, like if this is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and this is 48. You're going to tell me how much is 1/4 of 48, right? Okay. B, write the answer in part A as a decimal, then use words. Some of you guys don't read the complete directions. So on B, you're going to need both a decimal and words, okay? Don't forget to do both of those parts. Number 13 is, oh, you're multiplying money by 1,000. So don't forget about the decimal that we just talked about. If you forget, you can always replay this video. You get to see me two times. I know Hudson, I think probably Hudson rewinds me probably 9 or 10 times a day just because he misses me so much. I am. All right, so, then 11, looks good. 23, find the perimeter and area of this rectangle. Guys, I want you to start doing this on your papers. Number 23 wants you to get the perimeter and the area. You need to identify which is which. Some of you put, if your answer is this, I don't know that you know which one's area, which one is perimeter. All you have to do is put an A and a P. So this is A, well, that would be right. This is P, and this is A. Perimeter, 16 inches. Area, 16 square inches. Okay? I need to have them labeled, which is which. So I know that you know the difference between area and perimeter. Okay? Area wants to know how many squares. How many squares? Area rug. Think about that. Squares on the area rug. How many area rugs? Perimeter, you use your pointer finger to go all the way around. Point out the perimeter. Okay? All right. 27. These are all the ones when I went through that I thought you might have a problem with. The table shows the relationship, ooh, that's just our word of the day today, between meters and centimeters. So it has a table. What you're trying to do is when it says write a formula to represent the relationship, it wants to know what do you do to the top number to get the bottom number. Now I don't want you to tell me you multiply 1 times 10 because that doesn't tell me if I have 13, what do I do to it? You just told me how to get 1. I want to know a formula. So you will tell me you take the number of meters and you do this to it to get the number of centimeters. Okay? That's what your formula should be. The number of meters, and then tell me what you do, and you get the number of centimeters. Okay? A very generic formula where I can just pop in any number and I can get the answer. Okay? I think that was all that I had down that I thought might give you difficulty. But even at that, if I didn't cover it, or maybe I covered it and you're going, I don't know what you're talking about, I'll talk to you Friday. Okay? All right. And that's all I have for math. Happy mathing. See you tomorrow.